Hello there and welcome back to Fallout 76. We're not on the public test server today, this is the actual live game, and I would like to share, if I could, just something I'm using on my shotgun build. Now this build I'm using is specifically only has, and I know shotgun is no longer in the wording, so let's say multi-projectile build. This is the multi-projectile world build. Should not be drinking rum when I'm doing videos, but hey, I am, so there you go. Right then, we're going to cover two builds in this particular video. First one is going to be your everyday driver. So we've got something like a combat shotgun, we've got a double barrel shotgun, we've got the enclave shotgun, not that one, and we've got the bloodied ultrasight shotgun, and we've got a quad explosive dragon, also a multi-projectile weapon, kabloom or cat bloom shotgun, yes, not that one. Right, those are the weapons we're going to be having a look at. So this is the build I am currently running. Now I say currently, we are what, maybe a month away from the next fairly major update when they're going to be doing the old PTS updates, but until then I don't think they're going to be touching shotgun though. I think it's mostly going to be bows and arrows and heavy guns on the next one. So maybe this one is pretty much set and ready to go. So I'm literally going to call this one everyday, and later on we're going to be looking at heavy cripple. So on the everyday one, this is just what I'm running at the moment. Maybe you can come up with something better. If you can stick it in the comments, that would be awesome, because hints and tips that you give to me make me better and everyone else better. This isn't all about the crippling, this is purely about using shotgun on day to day. So we have got weapons that fire 3 or more projectiles, gain 30% range. Obviously we are using multi-projectile weapons, so yeah, 30% more range. Sounds good. Barbarian, that is purely for tankiness. Bandolier, carrying stuff. Ordnance Express, carrying stuff. Blocker, for tankiness. Number Cruncher. As you know, weapons have a 2% increased damage per AP cost. So the higher you can make your AP, the better your weapons are going to be. It's a balance when you're using VATs, because every time you use VATs you're using up AP, but if your AP is increased you don't need to use so much VATs. So there you go. Center Masochist. 70% range damage when attacking the torso. Hey, if you're gonna attack the torso, it's a much higher AP chance of hitting, so why would you not go for torso? Plus you get 75% range damage when you do so. It makes sense. Refractor, that's for energy resistance. Tank Killer, we are going to be using small arms on this one. So small arms is anything that's not a big gun. Used to be different, but now it's small gun, big gun. The end. Right, so that is small guns ignore 36% of armor and have a 9% chance of stagger. Not bothered about the stagger, just the 30%, 6% of armor. Armor penetration equals more damage on most heavy creatures. Things like ghouls, scorched, maybe not so, but anything that's heavy, yeah. 36% ignoring armor. It's, in short, more damage. Skeet Shooter. Your small guns have a 45% better accuracy and spread. We are going to be using this in VATS, so why would you not? And once again, VATS. Gain more VATS accuracy based on your perception. Well, we've got perception at 14 on this particular screen, you can see. We'll go for the other ones. Oh god. Why is not the server? Ignore that. Right, endurance. This is all about tankiness. This isn't about really the shotgun build. This is just purely tankiness. So, Life Giver, we're in a bloodied build, low health build. So yeah, Life Giver gives you more life. Ironclad. Why would you not use this, especially as a low health build? If you are wearing matching armor, you have double. So this isn't 25% more protection, this is 50% more protection. Hell yeah. Iron Stomach. Yeah, you can read the screen. Natural resistance. There you go. Thirst Quencher. There you go. Fireproof. Yep. Radical. This is a low health build card. If you are not low health, you do not need this card. So the greater your ads, greater your strength. Yeah. Starch Jeans. Most necessary. Unless you're a ghoul build, probably not necessarily on a ghoul build. But if you are a low health build, you are already highly radiated, you may have the chance of gaining mutations you don't want. Put this card on, you will A, not gain mutations you don't want, you will also not lose mutations you do not want. Rejuvenated. If you gain increased benefit from being well fed or hydrated. Let's have a quick look at that one. So 1 star is good for low health builds. You gain increased benefits from being well fed and hydrated. Full health build, 2 stars for you. Benefits for being well health or hydrated are further increased if you have less than 10% rads. If you are a low health build, you have 80% rads. So yeah, if you're a full health build and you're not irradiated, 2 stars are for you. 1 star if you're a low health build. Adamantium Skeleton, why would you not? It's 1 star. Yeah, game lean damage reduction based on your endurance. If you're a ghoul build, you definitely want that card. And then somebody is sharing through Hiker with me. Thank you very much. That's not me. But yeah, put that share card on. Make sure the share card, effect in your systems menu matches what you want. For instance, through Hiker suits my build fine. So yeah, I can't remember which card I've shared, but I've shared one, I think. Charisma. Inspirational. This card, yeah, it's great if you want gain more XP. If you don't want that, you don't need that card. Bodyguards. Gain damage and energy resistance. Makes you more tanky. If your charisma's high, that's a good one. Strange in numbers. Positive mutation effects are 25% stronger if teammates are also mutated. Nearly everyone on the game is mutated, so that game's good. That one goes really well with, and we'll cover that one in a bit. Suppressor. Reduce your target's damage output by 30% for 2 seconds after you attack. Why would you not? And Tenderizer. Each attack makes your target take increased damage. Once again, why would you not? Intelligence. Nerd Rage. The lower your health, the better your damage. And we're on a low health build, so yay. Demolition Expert. If any of your weapons go boom, that card just makes the boom that much better. Science. Energy. If any of your weapons are kicking out energy damage based on your intelligence, that's the card you want. If they're not doing energy damage, maybe you can look at Cryologist. That's if any of your weapons are doing cryo damage. Or Pyrotechnician, if any of your weapons are doing fire damage. Maybe that one. So that's an interchangeable card. Batteries included. That is a good one if you are specially using energy weapons and you are carrying a lot of energy ammo. Gunsmith. Guns break 50% slower. Why would you not? If you have the 3rd star perk card that reduces damage over time, you definitely need that one. Sorry, Scottish there. You don't need that one. You can swap it out for something else. But hey, makes your guns last longer. And if you have the 4th star perk card, can't remember what it's called, but it's the one where you have more damage the better the health of your weapon. That's another one to elongate that particular use of that particular card. And some nice person in the team is sharing first aid. Read the screen. That's what it does. So we're now over in agility. Gorilla. You do 20% more range damage to close enemies. We are using shotguns. Shotguns are well known for not exactly being long range weapons, though close enemies. I think someone did a test on this. Ooh, I can't remember who it was. But anyway, someone did a test on this, and it's about 3 to 4 floors away. You know, a floor, so square bar, square bar, square. Yeah, they're about 3 to 4 of those away. So they're pretty much in your face, and then that works. Nice for shotguns, nice for flamers. Adrenaline. What's that? Gain 10% damage per kill whilst on a kill streak. Awesome for shotguns. Action Boy. Action points regenerate 45% faster. It's not a necessary card. If your character is particularly slow on that action point regeneration, use that one. If not, there are plenty of other cards you can swap out for that one. But that's just what I have on. Evasive. Chance to evade attacks based on agility. Well, we've got agility of 12. We'll look at what the actual setup is in a second. But as long as you're not in power armor, that card is useful. If you put on power armor, you might want to swap that card out for something else. Gung Fu. VATS swap targets on kills with plus 90% up to 3 targets. Well worth it if you're going to be a VATS build. And then we're on to the last one. So we have Ricochet. Gain a chance to deflect range attacks based on luck. Worth it. Class Freak, negative effects of your mutations are reduced by 70%, 75%. So that is the one that nicely, where are we? So it nicely goes with strange in numbers. Where is that card? Whatever. Wherever it's gone. So the one that increases while you're on a team, and then that one, Class Freak, negative effects whilst you're on mutations reduced by 75%. So anything to increase strange in numbers, of course. So positive mutation effects are 25% stronger if teammates are mutated. Mix that nicely with Class Freak. Mutated effects of your mutations reduced by 75%. So it pretty much means that any mutation card you have on, the negative effects are pretty much nothing. So don't worry too much about your mutations. Better criticals, we are going to be using these weapons in VATS. So yeah, VATS criticals 10% damage. Serendipity, whilst below 30% health, which we are, gain a chance to evade based on luck. No power armor. So this is definitely a no power armor build. 4-leaf clover, misses in VATS. Now charge up your critical meter. Super duper, we're going to change that out for currently Bloody Mess. Bloody Mess, on the other hand, is about to become pretty pointless unless you are a melee build. But for now, Bloody Mess, well, at least for the next month or so, Bloody Mess is still good. And Critical Savvy, that is also good for VATS build. So when Bloody Mess becomes pointless because it becomes a melee build card, you either can swap something else out that's a 3-star card, or you can just shift 3 points into something else. So what are our legendaries? This is pretty much a high build. I have literally maxed out. What have we got there? We've maxed out luck, we've maxed out strength, endurance, intelligence, agility and perception. You can max out any of those cards, and then that will allow you to have this build. If you aren't fully maxed out, there are a few cards that are not 100% necessary, but as long as you are basing it somewhat on that, you should be good. And just to help those legendary cards, we've got 5 extra in strength, 9 in perception, 10 in endurance, 8 in charisma, 7 in intelligence, 7 in agility, and 10 in luck. We have 0 points available to spend. So let's have a look at the weapons we're going to be using today. We're not 100% going to be using meta weapons. I was watching a video by good old Mr. Angry Turtle, and he brought up 2 guns which I was most interested in. So first of all, an Enclave shotgun. What is that? You can also do this as a plasma shotgun. Doesn't have to be the Enclave, just the standard one is a little bit weaker but still good. So let's have a look what we got here. So for instance, this one is a blooded one, low health. Projectiles explode. Now, something I always say with explosive weapons, and I have done a video on this one, if it is a slow weapon, explosive is good. It is a fast weapon, faster fire rate is good. Do not be putting explosive on fast weapons. Put explosive on slow shot weapons. If it's fast, use faster fire rate. The damage per second is so much better. Also, prime capacitor. So much better on slow shot or one shot weapons, not auto weapons, because you will get back more ammo than you spend. Currently in the game, and I do believe on the PTS, you can still get what's known as contextual ammo, and that basically means you get back what you use. And with one-shot weapons, you often get way more ammo back than you used. So the shotgun effect on a plasma weapon is the aligned splitter, or the splitter. Difficult to get hold of Enclave mods, so much easier to get hold of the plasma mods. The plasma mods are not that much weaker than the Enclave, but if you have an Enclave, well done. Then you've got to try and get all the mods for it. The mods are not easy to get hold of. So if you have a plasma weapon, yay. Use the aligned splitter and just use the one that suits that which you were after. And then I have the aligned stock on this one. You can have the pistol grip on this one, so it makes a pistol one instead of a rifle. Just on this build, I'm a rifle user. I've got a stabilized stock and I've got standard sights. Currently, in this particular situation, standard sights gives you the highest AP cost of 30, which using number cruncher makes this weapon a wee beastie. We're also going to be looking at, for this video, the next video I'll be looking at the auto ones. The blooded ultrasight shotgun. Now the ultrasight is just a little step up from the standard laser rifle. Once again, a little bit more difficult to get hold of, and it's just a little bit more powerful, but the standard laser rifle will do just as good. Once again, I have blooded, once again explosive. If it's an automatic, use faster fire rate. Single shot explosive. Strength, I haven't really changed that star. There are much better third stars to have on your weapons, but really I'm just going for the 1 and 2 star here, which is the blooded, low health, and projectiles explode. And once again I have prime on it, because it's much better to have prime on single shot weapons. Automatic, that is your choice. Just ultrasight isn't that easy to get hold of, shall we say. On single shot you get way back more than you use. So those are the two weapons we're going to be using specifically. I also have a blooded combat shotgun. Same thing, I could have been using ultrasight shotgun ammo on this one, but the hardened receiver pretty much gives you the same, so I didn't bother. Perforating magazine, you definitely want your anti-armor. What else we got? We got a double barrel shotgun. They are awesome. Same thing. Hardened and prime are pretty much the same at the moment. Next update, that may change. You can also have the What's it called? Sorry, quickly run back to my base. The Frosty Shotgun. What's the Frosty Shotgun called? Cold Shoulder. Didn't even need to load up. Also, another good weapon to have is the Cold Shoulder. Right then, so let's put on the Enclave Shotgun and the Ultrasight Shotgun. If we just pop over to some nice level 50 super muties, at least this will give you an idea of what this build can do and what these weapons can do. These are currently definitely off meta weapons. Just to quickly show you on this one, I have the true sniper barrel. This is a charging barrel. See those 3 red dots? As long as those 3 red dots are lit, you are on full power. Remember, this is not a crippling build. This is a center masochist build. Level 50, dead. Level 50, dead. Now the laser has quite a good range as well. So if we now swap over to the Enclave Shotgun, this is more powerful, but the range is slightly less. There we go, we're at 95%. Head, not so much, but torso. Boom, dead. One shot. These are level 50s. So, level 50 super mutants, no problem. Oops, dodge that. No problem whatsoever. Quick reload. Right then, if we pop down to the ever so popular Westech, this is where you'll be meeting your level 60s, your level 75. Hello, number 34. No, ran straight past us. Right, let's pop on down to... Oh, no, we got a thumbs up. Sorry, mate, I've literally killed everything that was there already. My apologies. So let's pop over to Westech, and hopefully no one's killed everything there. So if we pop back to our long-range weapon, so we're 95% there, 27% there. So 1 shot, 2 shots. 1 shot, 2 shots. So let's get up close and personal. 1 shot, 1 shot, 1 shot. So the Enclave Shotgun, more powerful than the Ultrasight Shotgun, but the Ultrasight Shotgun has way more range. And it's only 2 shots, so who cares? This is not a crippling build. That will be the build on the next video, which will be pretty much straight after this one. Don't want to put them in the same build, it'd be too long. We're already at half an hour on this one. I'm not going to go inside. I don't want to be any more than half an hour because no one wants to hear anyone drone for more than half an hour. So there is my shotgun build. I hope you've liked it. I hope it has given you some good ideas. If you have any advice, so not a crippling build, this is just a purely center mass shotgun killing build. If you have any extra ideas on this for me, please add into comments. That way myself and other watchers of this video will get a better idea from your point of view. Thank you very much for all of those who have watched to the very end. If you want more, including the crippling build, which I'm going to be posting next, please hit the old subscribe button and the thumbs up and the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye for now. Bye bye.